What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 12 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. We are once again using this really cool Lunala Groudon team built by Cdot Kuro. We had a lot of fun with it yesterday and hoping to keep that up today. So looking at my opponent's first team, it is Calyrex Groudon. It is Volcarona, Thundurus, Groudon, Calyrex, Venusaur, and Grimmsnarl. So it's a really tricky team because it's very similar to ours, but the differences are what makes all the, the differences are big. So I'm just trying to think of what makes sense. I really like Instant Thundurus, just because of the fact that we can stop a Venusaur Sleep Powder, which I think can be really big. I like Groudon. Groudon's on Assault Vest, which makes this tricky. Let's do this. My plan is to go for what's it called? Airstream with Thundurus turn 1. We do have the ability to pressure with Fake Out into Venusaur, so that is really good to try and stop something like a Sleep Powder. It is just a little bit tricky though if you survive the turn, because then you can go for a Sleep Powder the subsequent turn, and losing Thundurus would be a pretty big deal to say the least. So let's take a look at what my opponent's going to bring out. We are going to see Calyrex Grimmsnarl. So that's something that I can definitely work with, taking advantage of the fact that we can just go for an Airstream into the Grimmsnarl and go for a Fake Out to try and stop any sort of potential screens. We do obviously have to be very wary of Calyrex, just given the fact that we don't have Assault Vest and you can still do quite a bit of damage. So I definitely would like to go for a Fake Out as well as a max Airstream onto the Grimmsnarl. We do have to be wary of Will-O-Wisp as well. That is definitely an option that Calyrex can go for, but Calyrex can't go for that onto Incin, and we do have the ability the subsequent turn to go for a Dark type attack to pick up a KO there. So we are gonna go for the max. We're gonna see no Calyrex max, which, like I said, it unfortunately does suggest to me the risk of Will-O-Wisp, but we do have the ability to just put on enough pressure that I think it should work out regardless. Also, there is a potential chance we aren't going to see Venusaur, which would be really nice. We are going to see a Fake Out come out. So the big question, is are you going for a Will-O-Wisp? As we are going to see a Trick come out. Interesting. So because we went for Fake Out before we got the Choice Scarf, we should be allowed to still go for an attack, right? Darkest Lariat onto the Calyrex, and let's go for another Airstream onto the Grimmsnarl. We know you're Figgy Berry, so that's fine. This is a very interesting turn of events. We are going to see a Reflect. I think that's fine. Incin might outspeed Calyrex. It should. It's Choice Scarf. So this is a very awkward position for me, because I don't really know. Well, we'll play it out. I mean, we have to. We're gonna, so Darkest Lariat's gonna come out. We know that you don't have a Focus Sash because you have a Figgy Berry. We are going to unfortunately trigger the Figgy Berry, but that's fine, right? We should see a Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, unfortunately the Will-O-Wisp is going to come out, so Thundurus in an unfortunate position here, but we do have guaranteed damage. We do have a guaranteed knockout onto Calyrex. It is unfortunate though that we don't pick up the knockout with Darkest Lariat, as we are going to see Groudon come out. So Groudon, I do want to preserve Incin. I'm fine to swap into my Groudon and go for... I'm going to go for a Lightning onto Calyrex. Oh, I can't. I need to... Oh, I can. It's Stab. My thought process with that is I want to set up the electric terrain in the event that you have Venusaur in the back and just try and stop any sort of fake outs. We do, unfortunately, like I said, need to switch out Groudon into Groudon because we do want to preserve that Will-O-Wisp. As Calyrex, I mean not Will-O-Wisp, that fake out, or sorry, that Intimidate. We are going to get the Lightning off, which is really nice to see. We could see a Swords Dance from their Groudon, which would be really scary for sure. Right, we do have to definitely worry about that. We are going to see just a straight Precipice Blades, so that's fine. Onto our Groudon, a little bit more than I would have liked, but what we can do now is I do want to switch back into Incin, and actually, okay, so I'm going to protect. I don't need to protect. I can go for a... This is greedy. We're going to be real greedy here. I need Wild Charge to KO. My thought process is we KO the Calyrex, we get the Swords Dance off, we will heal with Citrus Berry, and then we can swap into Incin. That's bad. That's so bad. Your Life Orb. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh god. It's fine. It's is it fine? It's not. We bring out Incin. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. Why are you so useless, Thundurus? We have to KO Calyrex. I'm gonna go for a Precipice Blades, and I have to Parting Shot the Groudon. Oh, that is... We're gonna see. I need... Okay, so if Groudon lives the Astral Barrage, which it might... Perfect. Okay, great. We're gonna Parting Shot out your Groudon, so you're at -2. I think my Groudon is faster. That's going to be important. We do unfortunately have to bring out Urshifu, which means we might lose the Sash, which is something that I don't like, but yeah, that's... Oh, and that's... Oh, that's super tricky. And you're faster. Yeah, that's just a series of unfortunate events. I think that was a speed tie. Oh, I really thought Thundurus was going to KO. You're going to Will-O-Wisp. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to Will-O-Wisp my Urshifu to stop a Sucker Punch. So what we're going to do is we're going to Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz the Calyrex. Protect the Urshifu. That's going to get the knockout there. That means we can threaten Wicked Blow damage as well as a Sun Boosted Flare Blitz onto this Groudon. We're going to see the Groudon with just withdraw, which is scary if it's... Okay, so it is Venusaur. We're going to see Urshifu detect. Like I said, I do expect a Will-O-Wisp to go into that slot. We're going to see, unfortunately, just a straight Astral Barrage. So that's tricky for sure. My opponent does have access to their max, which is really scary. Flare Blitz going to come out here onto Calyrex. So yeah, I can't see us winning at this point. The Reflect is going to go away. Groudon's going to come back. So Groudon's going to reset all of the drops. And the thing now is, right, like, you just go for a max. So yeah, we don't have an out here because we can max here and go for a Wicked Blow here. but both are unfortunately aren't going to be able to get the KO. Right? Yeah, you do have just such an easy Vine Lash that I can't stop. So, yeah, if Thundurus had KO'd Calyrex, this would have been a much different game. Like, I get that it was burned. I mean, it was burned and threw a Reflect. I should have gone for a Brick Break. We're going to see just a straight Vine Lash onto Urshifu. Yeah, Urshifu is going to go down here. We can hope for... No, because I have Vine Lash recoil too. So Flare Blitz going to come out. We're going to KO the Venusaur, and we should go down to Flare Blitz recoil. Otherwise, we hope we live the Vine Lash, and then, yeah, but we don't have our Figgy Berry. Yeah, so that's what's going to be that. I could have, I guess what? Double Protect the Urshifu to survive the Vine Lash, lose that, and then probably go for a close combat crit. That probably would have been an out. But like that's just super unlikely. So yeah, it was definitely unfortunate. I definitely should have played a little bit better, where I could have protected with Groudon the turn they went for Will-O-Wisp, gone for a Brick Break, and then gone for the Wild Charge. That definitely would have made a big difference, but you know, it is what it is. Let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is Kyogre Zacian. So that's interesting. It is Kyogre, Zacian, Urshifu with Whimsicott, Indeedee, and Regieleki. So let's look here. We don't outspeed Aleki, which can be a little tricky, but what? I really do like Venusaur as a lead. Thundurus is also actually a really good option here because of the fact that it has Airstream and ways to deal with Kyogre. But I'm going to actually let's do Venusaur Lunala. Let's bring Groudon in the back, and then let's go with Urshifu. Yeah, let's do that. This way we do have the ability to set up Trick Room if we need to. We can also immediately pivot out into Groudon to make Venusaur put in work. So it's really going to depend on what my opponent brings. One thing, obviously, to be wary of is something like an Indeedee Kyogre. I like how you're Marnie. We are going to see Okay, so Regieleki Ogre is something that I can work with. I would like to Vine Lash your Kyogre and swap into Groudon. You're still faster with Aleki, but it shouldn't be a big deal. We are seeing no switch, interestingly enough, unless it's just like a very, very slow Kyogre, which is also possible. But we're seeing, yeah, we're going to see no switch. We are seeing a max here. So this suggests to me, what? Probably an Aleki? Yeah, we are going to see the Aleki max. So one thing to be weary of is a Strike. Strike followed by Ice Beam into Venusaur. But we're hoping that our speed is enough to... our speed is enough to survive. If we can obviously get in a position where we can get rid of Ogre, like we're in fantastic shape. We still do obviously have to be weary of things like Zacian in the back, but it's a pretty good position, especially with Groudon out. We are going to see the Ogre just go for a Protect. I think that makes the most sense. We could see a Lightning. Perfect. Okay, that's great. We're going to see a Lightning go into Groudon, expecting me to go for a Sleep Powder, as we can just go straight for damage onto this Kyogre. So now is a question of what do we want to do? Venusaur. Okay, so Venusaur is faster than Ogre, so that's a big deal, because what we can do is we can... I'm gonna Vine Lash again, and I'm gonna Swords Dance. My thought process is, if you can't hit me with Aleki, right? This is a free Sword Stance potentially. I feel like you definitely have Max Strike. We are going to see a Whimsicott come out as it's going to be Airstream. So this is physical Alecki. That's annoying. We are going to be able to take the hit well, but more importantly, Groudon should also be able to respond very well to the damage. So they are going to get a Tailwind up, but all things considered, it's not the end of the world, right? Yeah, it's totally fine. That still does massive damage into Whimsicott. We are going to get a Sword Stance up, so we do have access to a really big Precipice Blades, as we can go for a max guard onto Venusaur. Yeah, let's max guard here and go for a P-Blades. I want to try and get rid of these two for the end game, just because of the fact that I think I think that having Vine Lash damage onto Kyogre and Zacian is way more important than onto Regieleki. So if we can yeah, let's just see how this works out. We're gonna see the Tailwind come out. That's totally fine. We do also want to preserve Groudon for the end game as Airstream. That's totally perfect. Gonna come out onto Venusaur. This is gonna fire off a big Precipice Blades. Yeah, that's an easy double knockout, as you're gonna be able to bring out Zacian. Okay, let's see. You bring out Zacian and Kyogre. What do I want to sacrifice? Groudon's at full, so that's important. We're gonna see Kyogre, we're gonna see Zacian. Yeah, Zacian comes out. We definitely want to switch. Let's think about this. This is a weird position. I want to switch. Well, do I want to switch or do I want to just protect? Venusaur is no longer big. That's fine. There's 2 turns left of Vine Lash, right? 2 turns left or 1? There's 1 turn left of Vine Lash. Not ideal. I'm going to go for the Earth Power onto... I'm going to go for a Leaf Storm onto you. And I'm going to go for a Protect. Just to get a little bit more damage out. We do have the ability to swap out, so that's really nice. As Blade, I was really hoping that you wanted to target down my, what's it called? My Groudon, but you didn't, so we should see a Water Spout. Okay, so also important to note here, this is something that I just noticed. Kyogre is not Scarfed. So what that means is we can bring out Urshifu, right? Urshifu is Sash. And we can go for a Wicked Blow onto the Ogre to KO it, because we know we're faster, and that lets us Precipice Blades onto the Zacian. Okay, so that's our game plan. We're gonna Wicked Blow here at the range it's at. That should be a knockout, and then we can fire off a Precipice Blades onto the Zacian, which should be enough. We're gonna see the Behemoth Blade, like I said, because of the Sash, it's not gonna matter. That's going to go into Urshifu, yeah, right down to the Sash. That's totally fine. We're going to get this Wicked Blow off onto Kyogre, which we... Are we not max speed Urshifu? What is Urshifu's speed? We're max speed. How did Kyogre outspeed us? Is it just Scarf and slower than... What? I'm confused. I'm very confused right now. We go for a Detect, and we go for a Trick Room. We are going to be able to survive a hit from the Zacian as a result of the Shadow Shield, which means that we can go for Wicked Blow onto then the subsequent turn, which is going to do more damage, and we should be able to wrap this up. Especially, oh yeah, if you just hit into Urshifu, like that's great for us. Is Urshifu slower than Kyogre? Tailwind. That explains a lot. It's important to pay attention to things. We're gonna get a Moongeist Beam to come out. I mean, I can't see us losing at this point. So Zacian, yeah, that's a ton of damage. We're gonna get a Wicked Blow off as well, and then we have at least 2 more Moongeist Beams. So even though neither of them are going to pick up the KO this turn, that Blade's gonna come out onto probably Lunala. Could be Urshifu just for, yeah, it's gonna be on Urshifu. That's totally fine with me. You could try and stall out my Trick Room. No, because one more Moongeist Beam should be enough for the KO. Yeah, you could go for like 7 protects, but yeah, it looks like they're gonna cancel. So glad we were able to pull that one off. Glad I was able to remember why Urshifu was not going first. Yeah, tricky battle for sure because of memorizing details, but glad we were able to definitely pull that one off. And let's just keep rocking and rolling and play one more. All right, last battle of the day, and it is another Zacian Kyogre team. It is Zacian Kyogre Zapdos with an Alolan Persian, a Ferrothorn, and Incin. So definitely some things that make this a little bit tricky. Mainly it's going to be that Ferrothorn. But there's not really a good counterplay to Thunderous Incin on their part, right? I think that's fine. Groudon, I think, is a really good option to have in the back. And then the question is, what do we want as the last slot? Urshifu is tempting because there's no Tailwind, so we will outspeed Kyogre. Oh god, that was awkward. We do have damage into Ferrothorn, into Incin. Overall, I think a really solid choice. Lunala is tempting too. No, I don't care about that. Venusaur, it's not maxing, so it's not worth bringing. Let's bring Urshifu here, just with the idea that it can sort of just pivot out in the late game and do a lot of damage. Thunderous, though, definitely going to be our main max option. We do have to just be a little bit wary of the fact that if it's a Scarf Kyogre, if it's Scarf Kyogre, that's fine. We can also just pivot out into Groudon. Okay, so Zapdos Persian is fine with me. You are going to have the faster Fake Out, so I want to... Okay, so you're probably... let's go for a Airstream. Actually, Wild Charge is neutral. No, let's go for an Airstream onto Persian, and I'm going to click Parting Shot onto Zapdos. I don't expect to get it, but it's worth a shot, because you might not go for a... yeah, you might not go for the Fake Out onto Incin. But if you do, like, it's fine. If you don't, it's great because we Parting Shot out the Zapdos, which is definitely a huge threat that my opponent has. One thing that is a little awkward, though, is the fact that this is committing to max, and I think we have a lot better uses of our max. It also means that I potentially have to bring out Groudon a little earlier than I would have liked, right? I would have liked to have been able to save Groudon for the late game, but we don't really have that option. Yeah, Groudon Lunala would have also been really good, because then we could have set up Trick Room and gone for a Swords Dance, but we don't have that option anymore, as Zapdos is going to also become big, which is fine. Like I said, I'm hoping for no Fake Out, but I can't really see a universe where you go for anything else, so we should see... Yeah, okay, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. You were assuming I would support Thunderous. That's going to let us get off a Parting Shot into Persian, which is fine. Your Focus Sash we should be able to get a parting shot off onto the Zapdos, which is going to be great. We're gonna see. Oh, we just didn't even KO it. Onto Incin. Incin, that should trigger the Figgy Berry, right? Right. Life Orb Zapdos, good to know. Okay, perfect. That's gonna put us in Figgy range. We're gonna recover quite a bit. We are gonna get the parting shot off. So this is a little bit of an awkward spot, right? I want to bring out Groudon here. I could Knuckle. The thing is, right, I can Knuckle and go for a Rock Slide, but I don't really want to lose the Speed War. So instead, I'm forced to Airstream and go for a Rock Slide onto the Zapdos, which I don't really. Yeah, I can't afford to let Zapdos be faster, because if you bring out Kyogre, that's really bad. I should have gone for a Protect. So we're gonna lose Groudon here. Is that fine? I mean, it has to be. We don't really have another choice, as you're going to Airstream, yep, into Groudon. We should have gone for a Protect, but I mean, to be fair, Fake Tears is like well known. We can bring out Incin again. We do have a guaranteed Fake Out into whatever is next to Zapdos. Zapdos is also chipping away at its own HP, right? So let's think about this. You could bring out Zacian, right? Zacian is perfectly fine with me, because we can go for a parting shot with Incin onto Zapdos, as we are going to, indeed see the Zacian. We're going to be able to bring you to neutral. I do want to parting shot out the Zapdos, though, because of the fact that we do have so many good damage dealers onto Zacian, that I'm not really worried about it. So I want to Airstream here and once again parting shot out the Zapdos. I do expect a Protect from Zacian, right? We are going to see perfect. We're going to see the Protect. I'm hoping at -1 Zapdos cannot KO my Incin, but we are going to just do a little bit of a breakage. We could have gone into the Zapdos just saying, hey, we want more damage. But I think that preserving the momentum is important, as we are going to see, let's see what comes out here. A Lightning. Okay. Onto Thundurus. Doing a little bit more than I would have liked, for sure. But we are going to be able to fire off a big parting shot onto the Zapdos. What's tricky is there's probably a Kyogre in the back. So I really need Thundurus at this point. Yeah, I really need Thundurus. Let's bring out Urshifu. I mean, we have to bring out Urshifu. So from here, we can detect and wild charge the... Oh, this is actually just really bad. Okay, so let's think about this. We can wild charge Zacian and swap into Incin. Let's do that. This covers for a potential Kyogre switch out. I don't see it happening, but you never know. We will probably lose Thundurus as a result of the recoil and the Behemoth Blade. So let's see how that works out. We could see them just Behemoth Blade into Urshifu, which, you know, would be nice. But I don't expect that to happen here. Let's see how the pivot works out. We're going to bring out Incin. I mean, you have an easy Sacred Sword into that slot. So there is reason to just hit that slot. We are going to get the Wild Charge off. God, Urshifu, Thundurus, why are you terrible? That did so little. Thunderbolt going to come out onto Thundurus. Thundurus is going to go down here. Let's think about this. Zapdos. Okay, so you should go for a... Okay. Blade means that Incin lives. Incin just pivoted in, right? Yes, okay. Incin just switched in. So what we can do is we bring out Urshifu here. We fake out into the Zacian. We Wicked Blow the Zapdos. We Wicked Blow into Zapdos. We go for a fake out onto Zacian. We can hope that Zapdos protects. I don't know why it would, but like you might double protect because you forgot about Urshifu because no one uses it anymore. That's kind of what we have to hope for. Or you go for a Hurricane. Zacian protects. Okay, we'll take that. Zapdos, do you want to protect as well? No. Okay, that's fine. We're going to see a Thunderbolt come out onto Urshifu. Urshifu tanks it really well as a result of all of the drops onto words. Yeah, we should have gone for a fake out onto Zapdos. Because then Urshifu would have its Sash intact. Because now you have a free switch in into Kyogre, and there's really nothing I can do to stop a Water Spout. Yeah, you're gonna Water Spout. You're gonna get a double KO here. So yeah, we needed to fake out the Zapdos to preserve Urshifu's Sash, because then we would have been able to pull through. As yeah, this is going to do absolutely nothing. Sacred Sword onto the Urshifu, going to get an easy knockout there, and then this Kyogre should be able to easily finish things off with a Water Spout. So an unfortunate way to end for sure. It's just like, it is what it is when it comes down to it. I think there are things I could have done differently. Definitely using Lunala as an option was actually a really solid option, especially when we saw Persian, just being able to go for like a fake out and then set up Trick Room and then go for a Meteor Beam onto Zapdos. That would have been really helpful. So you definitely learn from the experience. It's been a really cool time using this team. We will be using a different team next time, and definitely check out the team creator. And with that,